Hello, here's Kier, and in today's video I want to show you some really interesting content. This content is pretty fun to do, and this content is doing solo chests in AVALONIAN roads. I haven't seen many content creators doing videos about this, and I'm really surprised by this because this content is pretty fun and it can be pretty profitable at the same time. Of course, loot from the chests is always random, so it depends on your luck if you will get good loot from the chest or if the loot will be lame. But when it comes to the loot from the chests in AVALONIAN roads, I got some tip for you. In my opinion, it's the best to do this content, to do solo chests in AVALONIAN roads right after the maintenance, because in my opinion, you should probably get the best loot possible right after the maintenance, so that's my tip. Right now, let's head on to the build. I'm using this build. Of course, you can do some swaps here, you can use some other abilities, but first is Satchel of Insight. I'm using it to get some more fame. You can use just usual bag, even some tier 5, and it will be way cheaper because this is kinda expensive. Another thing, Mage Cowl. I think doing bosses in the AVALONIAN roads with this item will be a little bit faster. Thetford Cape to clear the mobs faster. Battle Axe, this weapon will give you a lot of sustain, so you will be much safer. Of course, there are some other weapons that you can use in this content as well, and I think these weapons are something like maybe some fire stuff, maybe some one-handed dagger, maybe some one-handed spear will be fine. You can do this with your friend when, like, if you'll play with your friend, you can like go with Bloodletter and your friend can go with some healer, so you will be much safer. But Battle Axe is fine too when you're playing solo. The next item is Hellion Jacket. I'm using it just for the sustain to be safer. The alternative for this item is Mercenary Jacket. If you want the more budget build, you can just use Mercenary Jacket instead of Hellion Jacket. The next thing is Crypt Candle. It will give you additional damage. You can also use some Muisak if you want. You can use Mist Collar, it's up to you. Poison Potions to kill the bosses faster. Demon Boots to be much safer, because if in some case I will be low, I can just run from the enemies and I will be safe. Roast Pork. This food is pretty underrated, and I'm surprised that not many people are using this food. Like, everyone is using beef stew, everyone is using pork omelet. So when it comes to this build, this food is pretty fine. And Giant Stack, just to get some to increase my max load stat, because if I will hit like some purple or gold chest, I'm just able to carry more loot. And some swaps are, instead of Thetford Cape, you can use Undead Cape, so you will be much safer again. And when it comes to the swaps, I think that all you can use some other mount like tier 6 Riding Horse. It's up to you. So now let's head on to next chapter. And first I want to show you some PvP aspects when it comes to this build. Of course, it's only duel in time, it's not some open world PvP, of course, but even in this duel you can see that I'm fighting versus Death Givers. I don't know if this player is skilled, if he's playing good, but as you can see, Death Givers is one of the most strongest weapon, and I just beat him. So as you can see here, I'm fighting some close. It was pretty close. That shows that even if someone will want to attack you in open world, you still have some chances. Now, another important thing when it comes to doing this chest, how to start doing it. In my opinion, it would be the best thing is going to some black zone, not any yellow or red zone, because in black zone there's less people, so there should be less people in the Avalonian roads. As you can see, there aren't any Avalonian roads in this zone, so we have to just go to some another zone, and we have to look for some Avalonian roads that have a lot of charges, so we know that there aren't any other players. Here we can see I have found a chest that we can do. The green chest on the minimap is that what we want. If you see this chest on the map, just go there. You will have to fight couple mobs, then you will have to fight an, I would call it like boss that stands near the chest, and when you will kill all the mobs, you will kill the boss, the chest is yours and the loot is yours. As you can see, those are tier 4 mobs and it's pretty easy to kill them. The mob gave me 8,000 fame. Of course it's with satchel, I'm using satchel inside, so without satchel it would be something like, I don't know, 4 or 6,000, but still it's only tier 4 mob. Here you could see that I get something like 26k fame per one mob, and this was tier 8 mob, so without satchel of insight again it would be something like 18 maybe. So as you can see, doing solo chests can be also a good way of fame farming. When it comes to the loot, I was so unlucky that I don't know if I could be more unlucky, because all the chests were green and the loot was, I don't know what happened, but it was just so bad. I hope you won't be as unlucky as me. Now I want to share some tips with you. As you can see, I'm always having my mount near me, so if anyone will want to approach me, I can just hop on my mount and that's all. They can't kill me. Another thing, if you will see this mob called Fading Inside while roaming Avalonian roads, always try to kill it, because this mob gives you a lot of fame. Like with Satchel of Insight, this mob gave me 26k of fame, so without Insight, Satchel of Insight, of course it would be less. Another thing, there are some chests that will give you silver in Avalonian roads, so you can always kill them. Even here you can see that I always have my mount, my giant stack near me, so I'm always safe. Another thing is picking the zone where you want to do your chests. If you see a zone like that with hideouts, don't go there. And that's all in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, and you will make tons of silver, or you will get millions of fame. So that's all from me today. If you have any questions or something, you can just write it in the comment section. So that's all from me today. See you in the next one. Bye.